everyone, welcome to ELCode+Language. My name is Hannah Lee and I'm going to teach you SAT Math complicated questions. Okay, question 7. 11x plus 152y is 12. Negative 23x plus 16y is 52. It's asking us, based on the system of the equation above, what is the value of x plus 4y? So for this kind of the question, like asking the solution of the two graph, first of all, you can just solve it by your hands, or you can just put this graph in the graphing calculator or in Desmos and find the point where two graphs intersect, which is the solution of the two graph. So for me, I will put this graph in the Desmos. I put these two graphs in the Desmos, and the point would be the solution of the graph. So it's x is negative 2.1002 and y is 0.2309. And it's not asking us x plus y or just x or y. It's asking x plus 4y. So x plus 4y would be negative 2.1002 plus 0.2309 times 4. And when you put this in the calculator, the answer would be negative 1.176. So the answer of the question would be negative 1.176. Next question, number 10. Following two graphs refer to the following information. Race summary. Let's read the question below first. A rowing team entered 2,000-meter race. 2,000-meter race. The team's coach is analyzing the race based on the team's split times as shown in the table above. A split time is the time it takes to complete the 500-meter segment of the race. During the first split of the race, the team rowed at a rate of 28 strokes per minute. To the nearest whole number, how many strokes did it take the team to complete the final 500 meters of the race? Okay, so the question is asking how many strokes did it take the team to complete the final 500 meters of the race? So the split time it took is 108 seconds. And it ran 28 strokes per minute. And it's asking it ran 500 meter and how many strokes it took. For this kind of question, it's giving us a lot of information at once, as you can see the length of the question. So I highly recommend you kind of summarize and organize like what you have to find, what information you have like that. So you have to find out how many strokes it took. Based on it was 108 seconds, 28 stroke per minute, and it ran 500 meters. So when you're solving this kind of the question that shows the information of either distance or speed or time, you can use this formula, which means speed times time is distance, and distance over time is speed, and distance over speed is time. So in this case, it's asking the distance it ran, right? So distance, I will treat it as an x, and speed is 28 stroke per minute, and time is 108 seconds. But as you can see, it is minute in here and it's second in here, so we have to match this unit. So 28 stroke per 1 minute, right? This indicate this, right? And it would be 28 stroke per 60 seconds, which is 28 over 60. So it would be 0.46 per stroke per second. So if you rewrite this formula, it would be x 0.46 stroke per second in 108 seconds. So if you multiply these two, in the calculator, the answer would be 50.3999999. So, but the question asks about to the nearest whole number, right? So, if we round the number, it would be 50 stroke. So the answer for this question is 50 stroke. 50 stroke. So remember, this kind of the question, if the question is really long and give us a lot of information, you need to first kinda highlight, not meaning highlight directly to the question, but you have to highlight in your mind, like, oh, what is the important information? And what kind of the information that I can use? And kind of organize in the blank sheet of paper, like, oh, it's 108 seconds, and what kind of the meter it ran, and the information I have to find out, and what kind of formula that I can use, and kind of put the numbers in the formula and check, oh, I have to check the unit, like that kind of check kind of the detail, and then solve the formula. Question 20. I think this is pretty tough. In the xy plane, a line that has the equation y is 5x intersects a parabola at exactly one point. If the parabola has the equation of y equals x squared plus cx plus 16, what is the value of c? So when you say the parabola and the linear equation has only one solution, it would look something like a parabola and a linear graph intersect at the vertex. So just write down the equation just like you usually solve the two equation, and let's organize it. It will be c minus 5x plus 16. And since this graph has only one solution, it will be c minus 5 squared minus 4 times 16 would be 0. So c squared minus 10c plus 25 minus 4 times 16 would be 0, which means c squared minus 10c minus 39 is 0. And when you put this in the graphing calculator or Desmos, like this, c would be either negative 3 or 13. So the answer for this question would be negative 3 or 13. Number 21. The circumference of the Earth is estimated to be 40,030 kilometers at the equator. Which of the following best approximates the diameter in miles of the Earth equator? So the circumference of the Earth is 40,030 kilometers, and we want to find out the approximate value of diameter of the Earth. So circumference is 2 pi r. So when you solve this equation with the calculator, it would be 4,030 over 2 pi. So it would be about 6,370.972372 in kilometer. And so diameter, which is 2r, would be radius times 2. So it would be 1,2,94474. And this is also in kilometer, and 1 kilometer is 0.62137 in mile. So the 2r would be as same as this one times 0.62137. So let's put this value in the calculator again. So it would be 7,917.4622206. So the answer would be C. Number 18. I think this question is really difficult. So I would put like 3 stars around here. Okay, a certain car travels at a constant speed of 40 miles per hour. At this speed, the car can travel a distance of 20 miles for each gallon of the fuel used. How many gallons of fuel are used when the car travels at this speed for 75 minutes? This question is really tough because there's lots of units and it's not matching each other, but it seems like it's matching. And I think the most difficult reason why this is so tough is you don't really know what to do first. But it seems easy, but you don't know what to do, like the first step to solve the question. So let's slowly and gradually solve the question together. So at 40 miles, it runs an hour, which means 60 minutes, right? Then we know 25 miles is used for 1 gallon, but then how many minutes it take for 25 miles? Let's put that value as x. So x would be 60 times 25 over 40. And this is 3 times 25 over 2. And this is 75 over 2. So it takes 25 miles at 75 over 2 minutes for 1 gallon. Then we want to find out the gallon that it used for 75 minutes of the driving, right? 75 of the driving, and how many gallons? Let's put the value as y is and it is 25 and it is 75 over 2 minutes per 1 gallon. And if you solve this equation, y would be 75 times 2 over 75, which is 2. So the answer is 2 gallons is the answer. So for this kind of the question, it is usually not that difficult because you usually know what to do, and usually even though it's not the matching units, it is easy to do and you don't really take much time to debate yourself like, oh, what should I do as my first step of the question. But this question was hard because there's hour, mile, gallon, minute. there's a lot of units, and it's asking how many gallons, and which is not really familiar to us as SAT math question. So let's just take some gradual steps, like solving how many minutes it takes for 1 gallon and what gallon it use as a 75-minute, like that. So yeah, the answer for the question number 18 is 2 gallons. Question 22. This is also really tough, and it's difficult as the similar reason as it did in the previous question. Like, you don't know what to do as your first step on the problem. But let's solve it with the gradual steps with me. So the question is asking, a circle in the xy plane has the diameter with the endpoint -12, -10, and -15, -6. If the point -13.5, B lies on the circle and B is greater than -8, what is the value of B? So the points would be look like this, and since these are the diameter with the endpoint, the circle would be looks like this, but we don't know if this point is the center or not, and we don't know if the center has the value of -8 or not. So let's solve it with the slow and gradual steps. Okay, so I think the first thing you have to do is find out the center of the equation. So when you find out the distance between two ends point, which is this, the value would be root 25, which is 5, which means the diameter is 5 and the radius is 2.5. But radius being 2.5 doesn't mean the center would be just -12, -2.5, like that. Because we know this value, the value over here, is 2.5, but we don't know these values. These values are the value that we can use to find out the center, because if we know like A and B, the answer would be like -12 minus A, -10 plus B, like that. So let's find out the center. Let's say there's a linear line between these two endpoints, and that would be some linear that has the slope of -4/3 plus m, right? Then when you draw a little triangle, right triangle over here, it would be this value of 2.5, 4a, oh, this is 3a and 4a, right? And by Pythagorean theorem, this is 2.5 squared is 9a squared plus 16a squared. 25a squared is 6.25, and a squared is 1/4, and a is 1/2. So this is 3/2, which is 1/5, and this is 2. So we can now find out the value of the center. So the center would be -12, -1.5, comma, -10 plus 2, which is -13.5, comma, -8. So the center has the value of -13.5, comma, -8, which has the same value as this point. But now we obviously know that, okay, this is the center, but the value of b couldn't be the same value as y on the center, because b should be greater than -8. So that means since the x value is -13.5, the point could be either here or here, right? But since we know the value of y, which is b, should be greater than -8, the value of b should be this point, not the star. And now it's easy to find out the value of b because we know all the information for the circle, so we can find out the formula of the circle. The formula would be x plus 13.5 square plus y plus 8 square is 2.5 square. And we know that the value is x value, so it would be b plus 8 square is 2.5 square. And when you put this equation in the Desmos, let's put it together. X plus 8 square is 2.5 square. You know that b would be either 10.5 or -5.5. So the star point's y value would be -10.5, and the point that we want to find out has the y value of -5.5. And I think since b is greater than -8, it would be -5.5. So the answer would be -5.5. This question was hard because usually the circle question give us all the equation that we need. But this question you have to find out, what is the center? Is it the center or the other value is the center? Then after we check this is the center, we have to find out is b as same value as center or not. Like there's many steps that we have to find out. So in the actual exam, if sort of like hard question come out, I highly recommend you to write down the value that you need like this and gradually find out the other values you need by step. So today we solved together 6 hard and complicated SAT math questions. So I hope you understand all of the questions that came out on my lecture today. So from now, this was Hannah Lee from ELCode+Language. Thank you so much.